Hi, readers. And this week, as you've probably noticed, we're reading fiction stories. So, what we're going to be focusing on is retelling fiction stories, which you're getting pretty good at, I must say. Something that I'm going to show you is called a five-finger retell. And this is what good readers do after they're finished reading a story. They think about the parts of the story. Let's take a look. So the chart behind on the screen here says a five-finger retelling. When you retell, you need the characters, that's here, the people or the animals in the story, the setting, where the story takes place, what's the problem in the story? Did the character, one of the main characters, come into a problem? Maybe they had a hard time with something. What the events were in the story, what happens in the beginning, the middle, and the end, and then finally the solution. How did this character solve the problem that they came into? How did they fix it? Sometimes there's even another part, and it's a heart in the middle of the palm. And this one is if you were really looking to go to infinity and beyond. It's what is the lesson that the character learned? What's the message? Why do you think this author wrote the story? And what did they want to try to teach us? But we'll see if we can figure this out together. So listen to the story that I'm about to share with you, and let's see if we can come back to this and do a five-finger retell when we're done. I'm going to switch my screen. Leah Wants a Rabbit by J. Dale and illustrated by Amanda Gulliver. Leah wanted a rabbit. No, 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 said Dad. You can't have a rabbit. Oh, Dad, said Leah. Why not? I'll take good care of it. We have nowhere to put it, said Dad. You can make it a hutch. You could make a hutch, said Leah. I don't have time, said Dad. A rabbit is only little, said Leah. It will not take long to make a little hutch. Oh, please, Dad. Please, please, please. Will you take care of it by yourself and feed it every day? Asked Dad. Yes, said Leah, I will. Will you clean its hutch and put in fresh straw? Said Dad. Yes, said Leah, I will. Well, said Dad, I'll think about it. Oh, Dad, said Leah. Not now, said Dad. I have to go to work, and you have to go to school. We'll talk about this after school. Do we know who the characters are in the story yet? I think we do. Where does it seem to be taking place? At their house. And Dad and Leah's house. That afternoon, Leah tried again. Dad, said Leah, I'm going to tell you why I would make a good pet owner. So Leah got some paper and a pencil. Dear Dad, I will take good care of my rabbit every day. I'll feed it morning and night. I'll give it fresh water every day. I will clean out its hutch and put in fresh straw. I will hug my rabbit and love it lots. Love, Leah. Leah wants something in this story. What does she want but can't have? So what would be the problem? You're right, she wants a rabbit. But can she get a rabbit? Not yet. Dad's got some thinking to do. Dad read the letter. He said. I'll think about it. Just then, there was a knock at the door. Who could that be? Asked Dad as he walked toward the door. Leah peeked out the window. She saw a lady getting into a little van. Dad opened the door, and there, on the doorstep, was a small cage. Inside the cage was a little brown rabbit. Cried Leah, peeking around Dad's legs. It's a rabbit! The rabbit was very tiny. It had one ear that went up and one ear that went down. Dad, asked Leah, is this rabbit for me? Dad just smiled. Look, he said as he opened the cage. There's a letter inside. Dad started to read the letter. Leah picked up the rabbit and gave it a big hug. Dear Leah, this rabbit is just for you. Your dad told me you will take good care of it. Love, the secret bunny fairy. Later that day, Leah smiled at Dad. I love my rabbit, she said. And I love you too. So Leah had a problem in the story. What was her problem? I'm thinking out loud. I'm thinking that there was something she wanted in the story. And her dad said she couldn't get it right away. You're right. It was the rabbit. She wanted the rabbit. How did her problem get solved? You're right. The bunny fairy dropped one off to her. And it was only after probably Dad read her note about how she promised to take care of it. Now let's go back to our retelling. Let's see. Could we name the characters? It was Leah and Dad. Where did the story mostly take place? It was at their house. The problem in the story was she wanted a rabbit but couldn't get one. The events. Now let's go back. We have to talk about what happens in the beginning, the middle, and the end. So in the beginning of the story, we meet Leah and Dad, and Leah is trying to tell Dad all the reasons why she should get a rabbit. She wants a rabbit. But Dad says, no, not now. We can't talk about it right now. Maybe later. In the middle of the story, what does Leah do? What does Leah write for Dad? She writes him a letter, and she explains all the things that she'll do when she gets this rabbit. In the end, what happens? She sees someone drop off, or she sees someone in front of their house, and they answer the door, and what's there? A rabbit, a little brown rabbit. And it was signed from the secret bunny fairy. So that's also part of the solution. Leah, in the end of the story, gets her rabbit. What do you think, if this is going to infinity and beyond, what do you think the author J. Dale was trying to teach us? What did Leah have to learn? Did she have to learn how to write a letter to get a rabbit? No. But did Leah have to think about all the parts of taking care of a rabbit and what that would look like and what her job would be if she got a rabbit? She certainly did. She had to realize that. So maybe the author is trying to teach us that sometimes there might be some things in life that we want and maybe if someone tells us no right away, it's because we have to learn a little bit more or realize what we need to do in order to get those things. Maybe work a little harder, maybe become a little bit more responsible. That means that you know what your job is and you know to do your job even without someone telling you. And maybe that's what Leah needed to do. Alrighty, boys and girls, we're going to be revisiting retelling as we go through the rest of this week and be working with different books. See if you can do a retell to someone next to you after one of your fiction books during quiet reading today. Off you go, readers.